President Bush is speaking, so that's always fun. He's at the U.S. Global Leadership Campaign. Now, this is a little random. It's not like the Iraq egregious quotes. There's nothing hideous in it, but it's fun because Bush is speaking. And the things that we're going to stop it every once in a while and tell you what the relevant parts are. But, again, listen for how incredibly simple the man is and how he tells you the most obvious things, doesn't draw points to what he's saying, and his fascination with the word interests, U.S. interests. And what's with the on every word?
Extremists.
All right, so let's listen to George W. Bush.
We are a compassionate nation. When Americans see suffering and know that our country can help stop it, they expect our government to respond. We help the least fortunate across the world because our conscience demands it. We also recognize that helping struggling nations succeed is in our interests.
Okay, stop it for a second. Okay, so conscious nations' interests. Okay, not a big deal. It's just having fun. But first, he gives you the book report, you know. Our nation is compassionate, it turns out. When we see suffering, we expect the government to act. I wish I'd known that before Hurricane Katrina. Carl Rove and Grover Norquist told me that we could drown government in a bathtub.
Yeah.
And they didn't expect us to act, but now it turns out they do. Didn't see that coming. Okay, let's keep going. We're just having fun.
Succeed is in our interests. Prosperity abroad can be translated to jobs here at home. It's in our interest that we help. So America is pursuing a clear strategy to bring progress and prosperity to struggling nations all across the world. I know that trade can transform lives. I've seen it firsthand. Laura and I were recently in Guatemala.
Yeah, great. I love it.
We went to a small village.
Huh.
It's in our interest that we open up markets.
Yeah, okay, stop. Okay, all right. But how did that story relate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the first time I went to Guatemala. Had some guacamole.
First, you gotta love the Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Went to a village. Okay, but how did that explain how that helps transform into prosperity?
Yeah.
So, now, I know, Dave, you edited this. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I know you edited. But did he explain? Did he make the connection?
Yeah, a little better than that.
Oh, okay, all right. To be fair to him, so that was edited. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought if he left it at that, that's hideous.
No,
See, you
well,
got to understand, my wife and I, we went to a village. Turns out there's a world out there.
All right, well, that's not quite fair then, if we took out the explanation.
Yeah, we're a little unfair. Okay, so let's keep going.
Doesn't mean he doesn't sound like a moron.
Yeah. I want to know what's in our national interests. I wonder if you'll tell me. Okay.
It's in our interest that we open up markets. It makes sense to forgive debt. If you're interested in helping the poor, it makes sense for the developed world to forgive the debt. Focusing increased American assistance for developing nations on 3 key goals. We have some goals. We're not just going to spend money. We have a reason to spend the money, and we expect there to be results when we spend that money.
Oh.
So the taxpayers of this country, it's one thing to be compassionate, it's another thing to be accountable for the money. We don't want to give aid to a country where the leaders steal the money.
Go on, stop. I mean, other presidents did not sound this way. It's been 6.5 long years, so we almost forget. Remember when we had eloquent presidents? Bill Clinton would not come to a press conference and say, you got to understand, it's about money, and that we got to spend the money, but not allow people to steal the money.
We don't want to give money to countries where the leader steals the money. That would be bad. It's not in our interests to do that.
Oh, come on, man. Jesus, simpleton of the world. All right, keep going.
One village, this initiative helped a group of farmers who were
Just stop
surviving.
for a real quick question. In case, different village.
Oh, it is a different village.
This is a different village.
Okay, but this village, man, wait till you hear the compelling story of this village.
One village, this initiative helped a group of farmers who were surviving by collecting firewood and producing charcoal. That's how these folks were trying to get ahead. They'd find firewood and make charcoal out of it and hope they could find a market. It's a tough way to make a living in a modern world. The business center that the compact established helped the farmers work together to identify a new product, a natural oil used in skin care products. Probably could use some of that myself. It's in our interest that we help provide capital to African entrepreneurs. And when people's lives and countries on the continent of Africa improve, it helps the United States of America. That's what our taxpayers have got to understand. It's in our interests. Many nations' girls have even less educational opportunity. It robs them of a chance to satisfy their ambitions or to make use of their talents and skills, and it's really sad when you think about it.
Oh, I see.
It really is.
Oh, I see.
We've taken action to fight ththese diseases. We've done so because it's in our nation's interest to do so.
Oh, come on, for the love of God. All right. Okay. When you think about it, and obviously Bush gave this a lot of thought before he spoke. That's why he explained it to us. You see, there are other countries in the world, it turns out, and if we give them money, that might help our national interests. Yeah. He can't handle complex thoughts. They give him the talking points, and they're like, just keep repeating.